And then the last one that we have is Coup, to pitch it to Zach because he had not heard about this. Neither did I until I went to the theater to go see Trap. I got Dee Dee. The main reason I saw Dee Dee, was because I needed to kill time before the 7 o'clock showing of Coup. This is a movie that came out of nowhere, bro. This movie played the most random trailers beforehand. You know, a movie called Tokyo Cowboy coming out. What? Mm-hmm. Audio coming out of the left channel and stuff. All the, like, you know, when you have your local film festival, all the local movies, those trailers were getting played before the beginning of this one. It's a pretty indie film, but I would say this is at the top of that indie kind of shuffle that they were marketing along with this movie, because it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good. I want to make sure you don't get some audio to pop out of you, but I want you to see what it looks like if it does not play. It takes place during the, I don't want to call it the first pandemic, but the Spanish flu in the early 1900s.
Right.
This is through and through a modern movie trying to make fun of, like, lockdowns and everything, but in that setting. And for the most part, it doesn't, like, break it to the point where it's like, oh, ha, 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 you're commenting in modern times. But it gets pretty close to it. He pretty much plays, let me go to the actors over here to make sure I got everybody set. My boy Peter Sarsgaard, always the GOAT, comes in and he plays a chef who's pretending to be the guy who's hired at this estate, where a liberal writer, played by Billy Magnuson, who doesn't leave his house, is making so much money telling people, oh, I'm out there at the protest doing all these crazy things. And the coup ends up being Peter Sarsgaard pretending to be the chef and getting all of the other, the maids and the help pretty much to rise up against him. Because it's, I keep wanting to call it COVID, but it's a lockdown that's happening in the early 1900s. If people didn't know today, they know even less back then. They don't understand what's going on. They just know that everyone can't go out because there's a sickness going out there. And it's almost like a double coup that's happening. The coup that's happening with people shutting down and people losing their jobs. But then this one that's happening internally in his mansion. And I thought it played pretty well. I enjoyed it. I thought it was worth watching in the theater, but I think for most people, when this is out on streaming, it's a perfect watch to have there with all the rich movies from the menu. And we were getting like a dozen of those, right? Just last year and a couple years ago. I think this is a good addition to that. Not too
Triangle
much on
of
the lower
Sadness,
end, but
Hustlers, Dumb Money, stuff like that. Yeah.
Funny you mentioned Triangle of Sadness. I was listening to Bike Rider's interview. The director, I don't know if you know his name.
Jeff Nichols.
Thank you. Jeff Nichols was talking about how they had brought up Triangle of Sadness because he was the juror at Cannes when it won. Now, you and I got to see a version of the movie. Yeah, that man's so funny. He said, yeah, after we awarded it, he added 15 minutes back to Triangle of Sadness. That is not what we awarded.
Interesting.
So now I feel justified in going, I don't see this as the Cannes winner, because we did not see the Cannes winner. 15 minutes? Boy, does that add a lot. Because when we left that movie, there was a lot where I was like, why did they not cut that scene a little? Yeah, because they added 15 minutes back into it. I just love how he said that. He just said it a couple weeks ago in some video store interview. When something wins an award, just know you may not be watching that version of the movie. But nonetheless, add Coup to your list if you were a fan of that one and other Eat the Rich movies. Coup in theaters. Very limited.
Good to see my guy Peter Sarsgaard in the lead of a movie.
Honestly, it's the main reason I went, dude. I would not have gone if it wasn't my boy. But